Alright, we're live, we're doing things today. I don't know how long this stream is. I have my green, but I wanted to do something. And I don't want to get too doing things, so anyway. Today we're doing shenanigans. That can go. Not this. Anyway, today we're working on things. First of all, this little stop hack gap I made to get around doing things properly. This little stop gap hack I did in existence. No, we're not going to do we're going to do a regular constructor still computer program because we're going to program some things. Right now here. Class. No, not me. Pass that in. So the stuff we were doing in the constructor here, what we'll do is we'll configure that and then we'll do... Oh, we need to send in the signal bus. That would be very important, actually. It's kind of hard to use the signal bus if you don't inject the signal bus. Properties. Why does it always do that? Protected. I think I was tipped. Plus. There you go. This signal bus and this and that. Because it's not easy. Good now? No. Yes. Yeah, I forgot I had a signal bus last stream. We will use the signal bus to emit and do things. Yeah, we'll just do these. So we don't need to pass them. Have access to that. That. I've been meaning to get around to it. That, man, we don't need the constructor. We are basically creating signals. Now, update is in draw, where we're going to get a little expensive, so I'm not sure if we're going to do that right there, but I want to check the other override. Begin draw, run draw. Yeah, we'll be expanding our state. that later, like if we drop most of this stuff. Yeah, I'll do these in a sec, but we don't need that. We don't need those in a second. I'll add them. So, but yeah, we'll mess with the begin draw, end draw stuff in a sec. Just, yeah. Hot bodies. Nice thing about all these overrides is we can just hear it dock and I don't have to put it on. We'll just do that. That's the herbs in that. When we're passing events, the thing, we'll just do that. Alright, so this will take the game window, this will take the exiting events arc, so let's just take it. Record. Nice. Is mostly good now? Yes. Oh, I need to dispose. Dispose. Alright, so because draw calls are expensive, I think we'll leave the draw, because of how, I don't know the signal bus here, but I'm going to implement them anyway and we'll performance dip as we go along. Oh. That's a mistake. Okay. Yeah, oh, well, let's have to do some time. Actually, I don't need to do this, I can just do this. This logger nation. So we can just inject this. That's too. I can just inject that, and then this is going to flood the console, so apologies, but Oh, this is going to kick and scream and die. I need to finish implementing the signals. Oops. Oopsie. Yeah, this is gonna kick and scream and die. Alright, hang on, let me go into those window, content manager, graphics device. Alright, oh, that can't be static because that's right, duh. Let's connect that, change parameter, this. Graphics. Okay. Okay, so that's connected. Definitions. I really want to change those to I have, but I know it's just because the like if I didn't need to tag interfaces with it would just be has signal definitions, but because proper code practices tag interfaces with the capital I at the beginning, I has signal. It's like I really want to change it to I have, but if it wasn't for that it would be has signal definitions. That works. Register instance signals, and this is just one liner because I want them to connect. This connect main thread dot interrupt that Windows service on initial. On initialize. Okay, I think we're good now. Because the rest of this should be going through the signal. So we should get the signal from the game, which will trigger this, which these will then trigger the things they need to trigger. Okay, so we should be good now. I completely forgot to do that, and I completely forgot to close my console. Apologies about that. Oh, I know. Oh. Oh, you wonderful, wonderful. Don't need that anymore. We don't need that. Yeah, we don't need these constructed. because they don't need to be accessible. Things directly follow. Drive needs to stay public for now. We'll be fixing that. Don't hold. Okay, we should be tied into the signal button. Now we should be working. Yep, there it goes. Okay, so to test how this looks, it's taking exact amount of update time. Now this is also going to be with no signal buttons and stuff. So let me just get some timing info here just so we can check things. But yeah, a little bit of a spike there at the start, but what are you going to do? It's initializing. It's also changing the state when it first loads up. Now if I get rid of this, yeah, the draw calls are kind of hit or miss. I'm not too worried about the draw calls. Alright, let's try integrating the signal bus and see how badly that goes. Because if I can get the and then I'll add, if this works, look. If this works, I'll add the other two draw calls, and then we can go from there. That's connected. Okay, so let's see if that works the game up. And then if not, I'll finish the things, we'll document the hell out of this in the game class. We'll be pretty much ready to go. That ran for a second. No, it's not impact. The signal bus is pretty well optimized here. Okay, let's the overrides. We don't have a begin update. Plugin doesn't have that in, and I don't have fixed update too. Okay, we'll do that. I'm just gonna add the overrides here, and then we'll just go from. 4X. I'll have to program it into the update loop itself. the update. I'll have to improve the update loop itself. Words. But we can do the draw ones. But I also want to add fixed updates. So. I don't need to pass. You know what? I'm not going to pass the game into the internet. I might change that later, but for now we'll just do this. Draw. Finish the bracelet. That's fine. Alright, so let's add all the records. Parameter. I'm going to leave load content on load content next to each other, even though logically it should. And then, yeah, I want to actually hook into some things here, too, but we're not done. We are nowhere near done. Playing a function. What events we had? It's okay. We already have those, but I already have those in. So I can do that. There are all kinds of events, actually. I'm not gonna, you know what, I'm not gonna. We're doing basics right now. Alright, now with all those things tagged, we will go and refactor our game state machine and to do some testing in it. Level that. I'm giving it about 10-20 seconds for because I don't know if you can see it on the thing, but I'm looking at the diagnostic tool, making sure it doesn't like spike because of all the signals. Yeah, no, that's working. Okay. It actually means get rid of that. I want to see how this works if we hook it in. I want to see if how this works if we hook it in signals. Okay, so if this works, we should have a blank window, because the services should be initializing on their own. The game state machine should now be completely disconnected. And yeah, we're getting a blank window, we're getting updates to the game. Okay, so everything is working. We just have no game logic because I just disconnected the game logic. Alright, so we're going to go and do that in state machine. If I can remember where I put the damn state machine there. It's client state machine. Okay. Signal. That. Alright, and now we're going to do connect framework game thread. I'm gonna have to go through and actually fix that. No, I'm gonna have to make an in-between function for that one specifically. This. Actually, no, wait, no, we can just do this. I'm just gonna. You know, we'll just make that. This is gonna be an easy thing. Yeah, we're just gonna have to make a like an in-between class, but anything. Not doing that. Stop it. The actual game state. The basic one. So yeah, we're gonna have to use this little in-between thing because we need to accept this argument, but we're not doing anything with it, but we need to accept it because onInitialize passes it from the client side. Server side doesn't, which is why we don't define it in this. But because the client will be sending us arguments, we don't care about them in the state machine. We really don't care. Like right now, we don't care about them. We literally just get the services directly in our state. So like in our setup state, when it's setting up the things, we just get that directly. Reminds me, I need to actually. We might not need. We'll need the setup state, but we might not need anything in it right now. Okay. Anyway, what am I looking for? I'm looking for the game state machine. Load content, unload content, draw. Update is in the base state machine. This draw take. Draw takes game. I'm going to be expanding these in a second, but I want to get the. I want to get these hooked up first. So now, if I run this, we should have. If I run this now, we should have the state machine reconnected. Good. Except it's not retail. Why did it not get reconnected? Not even kidding her. Alright, hold up. No, it's not. Why is it not calling that? It's this because it's not as implemented interfaces. You know what? I'm just gonna start doing as implemented interfaces on everything. Because we're not registered correct. Okay. And it exploded. Why didn't it explode? Failed to load on content remember. Oh, crap. Okay, this is fine. This is fine. This is fine. Just do what we did here. We're not passing in these in because the server and other the applications have no, like, the application state machines here, like the game state machines, they need to interpret it and send it to a generic thing. Like, the signals themselves are so anyway. I will fix that in a second, but fix that in 2 seconds. Just do this. The service, the states themselves can, because we're using dependency injection to build our states and like resolve them. We don't actually need this, which is why this, like the states themselves should be passing things. These are required for these parameters are required for the services that are like the client side services. So we need to interpret the client side signal into the generic. Just do the thing. Let the state figure out the rest. I keep forgetting to close my console. And we're back. And are we lagging at all? No, we are not. Cool. Alright, so now what I want to do is I want to go into the states. Because, for example, we don't need to do... Sorry for my tapping, I'm trying to think and I'm fidgeting and I don't know where my fidget... There it is. I'm trying to fidget while I think and I was unaware where my fidget popper was. Not that the popping is any better, but... Okay, I need... that... Okay, we don't actually need this one. It's this. I need to add 2 functions to this. Okay, let's do that first. Okay. Where's my iGames? Okay, now this is going to scream. This, just this. No. AI is hitting some in a minute. No! Why did that go up there? There we go. Alright, so we have that added into our base thing. Now we just literally just copy this, but boop, boop. Base there. In draw. That. Draw. And draw that parameter. Parameter to end draw. Sheet. That. Here. Put whatever that is. Okay, then we connect those signals up. Signal bus. Oh, connect. You were right. Why did you stop being right? Thank you. Okay, so that's connected there now. So now in our state, our game states, here and here, or this one. Okay, this one here. I honestly don't even think we need this anymore. Like, I literally just need this to switch it from, like, I want to have a setup state so we can set up and then switch, but yeah, this I'm gonna leave alone for now. We need to improve this. This here we don't need. So override. Draw. Buddy. I'm just gonna copy this. I will improve the sprite patching. Oh, that needs game time. I need game time. Things you learn when you mess around with the game. I will do better caching of the sprite patch service class in a second. We can cache it at get rid of that. Get rid of that. I'm going to go into the thread, the action manager stuff. I still need this, but like a lot of this we can get rid of. I'm gonna refractor one. Don't need this here, we just need the sprite back there. Okay, so that should be fixed. And also, we don't need to call these. Okay, so that's separated it properly. I don't know if this is going to work. This should work, but state is good. State machine is good. I'm going to run a build just to get all the classes like warped. Oh! I also need to update this. Okay, yeah, okay, I'm dumb. That. Leave. Red Action Manager. Let me rebuild those. Because the mapping service is also screwed. That's not gonna build because as soon as it gets to mappings, it's gonna scream. Why are you not? I know for a fact. Oh, this doesn't do pre-draws. It's just draws. Okay. Well, yeah, right. Or I thought I was like, why is that mapping? Why is the garbage mapping thing I made going? So we are rendering. We are completely disconnected and DI compliant. We are not killing resources. Except for what I like. I have to download all the maps. That's only happening though. Okay. Alright, we've got that done. Now I'm gonna go through all these changed classes. Everything's all done. E. Yes. G. I'm literally just clicking a thing, typing Control RGS, and just going through these and doing that real quick. Polish this up. That'll be my thing for today done. There's a couple other engine refinements I want to really figure here. A lot of the refinements was in the code here. Okay, game state machine good, game state is good. That's good, that's good. Okay, thread action manager. We're doing some heavy refactoring on it. We do not need this crap anymore. I'm keeping these, but like all this I'm keeping these because this is how I'm injecting my draw calls right now and stuff, but like all that crap and to okay, so yeah, we're gonna simplify this thread action manager. I can't get rid of it completely yet, but we can get rid of a lot of this crap we're wasting on injecting. So get rid of that. So yeah, until I do better with the integration of these, because these are injecting into my states right now. Until I get that dealt with, we still need this, but this early, like I said, this early red action manager, we can bippity boppity boop out of existence. And I will deal with the update stuff later when I deal with that, but I'm not dealing, like I said, heavily simplify this class. And then thread action manager. That. That. That's it there. I'm not going to document that because, like I said, I'm planning to just get rid of it. State machine is good. Here, oh, God. You know what? I'm just gonna leave these for now. I'll deal with them. No. There, like that. And if we do this. Okay, see? Magic, okay, oh. Anyway, now we can just see here. Not actually doing anything with those, but I'll keep them in for now. I want to keep these here because this is the logic. This is logic, like actual logic. Actually, you know what? We're not overriding them, so we don't need them. These two I need to keep running because we want this logic to remain. In fact, I might move this up to state. Actually, since we're doing the content manager service right now, we can get rid of that injecting. That'll make resolving the state faster. Neat. And I'm not done with this yet. This is just a sample game state. Leave that alone. This mess, we can just get rid of that. And actually, we don't need to inject anything into this anymore. This is our setup state. We're keeping it around. We're keeping it around because this is how I want to do things. But yeah, we're gonna just. I'm gonna come back to these classes and finish that up. New state is good. I'm not done with this. That's it. Right there. Okay. Now we're just going to go through these and shenanigans, document the ever-living hell out of them, and we're good. Let's do the easy one first. Let's do the easy one first. So, what I'm going to do is do a parrot dog. Quite literally going to spam frick out of this XML tag in this class. Now, when we do this, I need to manually type all that code. There it is. Because this file is entirely overrides. Aside from doing some things like this. Instead of doing some. No, hang on. This, there. Okay. And then we can program the key states. I'm going to leave that key state in there for you. I'm gonna leave that in there for now, but eventually this will be handing this off to the input manager service and stuff. This class should, like, the game should not have any logic in and of itself now. It should be passing it off via signals and connection. We want to inject things into the game, not have the game send things, like, all things straight. Alright, that was an easy one. That was an easy one. Let's do the second easy one. Do I even need half of this? Am I using configuration for anything? I don't think we're using configuration for anything. Look at that. I'm gonna leave the logger. I'll leave the logger here in case I need, but we really need configurations. I do really need loggers. Dependencies. No, okay. You know what? I'm just here to pause for this. I don't really care about this. I really don't care. I'm gonna have to program the servers, but the server's not gonna be inheriting. But with this. Okay, now fun part. Well, here, do the easy. So this here. Alright, now the fun part. It's going to. I know, I have exactly what I need for this. Hang on. I have exactly the right chunk of text for that. I will probably go through and we'll probably go through this here. There and then. Alright. More signals and we're done. Try and keep these kinds simpler. That should be. Yeah, if we cancel the event, it should. I'm gonna test that real quick. Yeah, that should be that completely refactored and done. We shouldn't need to touch that again until I need to add some more logic. But let me do this. What I'm gonna do is hard put this in the state machine. This is not staying in the state machine, so I'm just going to do it in here. And not keeping this. I'm just testing this to see if this actually intercepts before I push that document on line of document. This should work. If we cancel the exit event args, it should work, and if it doesn't, that's because the signal bus is too far. Doing something. That was not happening before. Why is the sprite batch not? calling the sprite patch before we're ready. Oh. That's problematic. Okay, hold up. I'll just add a quick one here. Oh, yeah, I want to pull that up. I need to pull. No, I need. Yes, that up to that. Thank you. Again, we're like playing with some real code around here. This is logic I should have had initially in the first frame. Like this is logic we should have been doing, but we haven't needed it. Let's run that. I don't know why it's running fine. Hey, screw something. Yeah, but now it's not doing. Why is it not? Why is this? Okay, this should most certainly be ready now. I don't know what I changed. I should have committed before I did. I don't know what I changed. Reconnecting the signal? Yeah. Why is the graphics device not initializing? Not getting called down here. We're connected. Problem in the graphics device. Not doing the connections. Not calling this. Why is my graphics doing? Now we're emitting it. It's not. Yeah, the sprite badge is not. I think it's because I'm foobarring the sprite badge. Yeah, I'm not doing. Oh, I'm not doing this correctly. Yeah, it's not. This here needs to not. Okay, first of all, what are we even using this? Oh. Yeah, this is the big problem. Big no-no. Big no-no. We go through the interface because the interface connects everything before things. So what's happening here is this is getting called, this is getting invoked after the graphics device, which means the signals aren't connected. So that thing so you can start talking about. So what's happening here is, let me just put a blob so we can do stuff. So the game starts, makes graphics device, and then makes sprite batch. The problem is in here we have connects to graphics device ready, but the problem is by the time we get here, we've already been here, and this emits. So I'm hoping explaining. So basically, in the game flow, we start, we make this, it emits this, then we make this, and then it does that. So we have a race condition. It's why we go through the interface. The interface on the game engine level, before anything runs, connects all the signals. So we want I has signal definite. But for anyone who's wondering why I always do when we when we had everything like hard coded and like I had manual control over the flow, it was fine. But now because DI will not, okay, that's actually getting invoked now. I'm still gonna leave that logic in. Okay, we're good. Because the DI container is doing things when it needs, like we're actually doing dependency injection compliant thing. Also, I needed to test that. If it doesn't work, I'll just get rid of it and I'll add a notion task to deal with it. But if I pick, I'm hitting escape rather vigorously. In fact, actually, I'll put a message in real quick just so we can. Put this in here so you guys can, because you guys can't see my keyboard inputs yet. Input manager eventually. I'm going to put this warning in here, so I'm going to, you should see it in my console in the top left. It pops up on stream. I'm just making sure it actually pops up. The game is working normally. I'm just running around maps. Again, I need to improve the mapping soon. And if I start pressing this, if I start actually holding it, if I hold enter, yeah, so we can intercept the signal. Except I can't close the game now. Yeah, I'm not keeping this, but yeah, so this on exit signal, we can interrupt and catch it. So if we're trying to something, say someone codes a malicious plugin or something, I don't know. But anyway, fix the sprite batch. So yeah, the sprite batch was not initializing correctly. Just for anyone who doesn't know, the way the like the signal bus works in the game engine, I'll just pop it up here real quick. So the way the game engine flow works is the bootstrapper does its thing. I'm not going to go into the bootstrapper, but basically we get the arguments from the bootstrapper, we store all this crap, and then we build the signal bus, which all this does is invokes the static. So the way it works is the signal bus is already constructed. It's just we're invoking the on-register signals. So the static signals that don't need instance stuff, like the graphics device, no, that has instance stuff, but I don't know. If I wanted to attach a global signal or something that didn't need static, anyway, yeah. It initializes the static signals, gets the configuration logger factory service, builds the service provider, and then once everything is initialized, we go down here. And this takes the, yeah, this gets the definitions again. I should probably cache that, but whatever. Anyway. Yeah, it does the instance thing. That's because of the race condition. So this runs before this runs. Graphics device is made here and emitted here. This makes sure all the signals are connected. Sorry, this makes sure all the signals are connected. I'm pointing at my screen while also following. This makes sure all of these signals are connected before we get down here. That's why the sprite batch was a little borked, because I was doing the signal connections wrong. Fun fact, if you submit code to my repo for this, and I see you trying to connect instant signals in the constructor, and they're especially if they're general rule, I'm just going to say no. If I see signals being connected in the constructor, I'm going to deny it, because that's not the proper practice for this engine. The proper practice is to implement the interface and use the literally use this function. I want to write this here. I made this for a reason. Because yeah, this gets called before this, and it also makes sure this is instantiated. But anyway, also we can switch that to a primary. Anyway, that is the engine good and going. So there is a bit of a lag. There is a little lag swapping between the states, like the initial states. Like this here, like that initial boot up and stuff. That was just because the setup state doesn't actually draw anything, and it takes a second for the thing. I'm gonna add more logging stuff maybe to the states once we're a little more refined. But yeah, that's our thing. Our monogame class is now completely DI compliant until unless I go. I'm gonna go through and add more logic and stuff for like other events, but based on what we have now, we no longer have to touch the game thread class, like this XNA game thread, which inherits this. We don't need to touch it. If I want to add more stuff, I just connect the signals and by signals, I mean we're just leave it to the state machine. State machine is our logic engine. But yeah, I need to go through and figure out how to deal with these I don't want to do draw calls and stuff on the signal bus more than I have to. Also because race conditions, like we just saw with the graphics device and the sprite batch. Yeah. Anyway. I'm getting dizzy from all the talking. Anyway, I'm going to commit this. That was a big refactor, but it's perfect again. Anyway, I'm going to call it a stream. Hope everyone enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Hey, I will be doing some gaming stuff more. It's just I have been in a program